It's a spooky time season again, and I have some really fun fabric that I am looking to create a new piece of wearable art. Hi, I'm Christina, and I love to digitally apparel pattern, creating unique pieces of wearable art. And today I'm super excited to kind of play around in CLO and see what I kind of come up with for this fabric that I could make something fun out of. So I'm going to bring up my CLO board. I have the knit shirt that I have drafted here and that it fits my girl. So we're going to now go ahead and start kind of playing around. So one of the things I've been kind of toying around with, I'm not 100% set on yet, is kind of like a cold shoulder bat shirt. So I still want it to be kind of form-fitting. So I'm going to want to keep the waist seam and a cinch in just a little bit, but then still add maybe that bat wing from between my wrist and my actual trunk of my shirt. So we're going to play around and see what we have to do for her. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to lengthen the sleeve because I am going to want more than a short sleeve, because for the bat wing you kind of have to have that longer. So we're going to pull that down. We're going to get 10 inches. That looks all right. We're going to reset that on the body though, because that is definitely a little bit tight, and let's pull that offset off just a little bit. That looks much better. That's still looking like that might be a little bit long. I don't want to go quite to my wrist. I was thinking like a 3/4 sleeve. So let's pop that up maybe 2.5 inches. Yeah, we're gonna start with that. Now I still have it really, really wide because what it was up here. So I'm gonna also change this length to only about 10, I think. We're gonna change it to the end so it's actually pulling that in. Let it think about life. Do that on the other side. Yeah, I'm liking that. And so I do love me a cold shoulder. So I think I'm definitely going to have it be a cold shoulder, but I kind of want to have a cold shoulder that goes all the way down the arm. So maybe it's like a cold arm with crosses made out of the fabric or maybe elastic or something that kind of holds it up, or like little X's all the way down. Yeah, that sounds really fun. So I think I'm going to do something like that. And I definitely want to open up this neckline a little bit. So I'm going to start by, let's split that. Let's maybe go 1.5. And we'll go 2. And let's see. Do I want a curved neck, or do I want a sweetheart neck? I don't know which one I want. We're gonna leave both those up there for a little bit while I think about it. That's the one thing I do enjoy, like when I'm kind of designing for myself, I can definitely, not change the length, I want to split. You can kind of play around with it and see which way you like better, and it's not always predetermined, but that is also why I don't like patterning for myself. Gotta pay attention to what I'm doing, is because then I sometimes get stuck and oh my goodness, I can't click the right, we're splitting, not changing the length. And we want the yellow line, there we go, 2 inches. Because then you actually have to make all those decisions for yourself, and I sometimes get stuck in my head about what I actually want or what I think would be good. But no matter what, the back's going to be easy. We're just going to lower that a little bit. And then we just have to figure out what we want for that front. And I don't know. So we're gonna move back to the sleeve, I think. So we're gonna split. We're gonna give us 2.5. That looks about good. Oh, I did the wrong side again. So let's split. We want the yellow to be 2.5. There we go. I'm gonna do the same on the back. And I want the yellow to be 2.5. And then we're going to kind of mark this. Well, I think I actually might want to make that a little bit bigger. Because, yeah, that's looking quite small. Let's change it around. We're going to internal line. I'm just going to pull it down. I think if I pull it down that far, I'm not going to be happy with that. .75. Internal line. Yeah, I actually might want to make this a little bit skinnier too. If I make that .5 there. Give it a shot and see if we like it. I'm liking that. So we'll go ahead and stick with that. So we're going to drop this. So let's give us some guidelines. And then we're also going to change the length of this to 1.5. Oh, we're going to split, not change the length. We want the blue one to be 1.5. Internal lines. Oh, too far. There we go. Yes. Okay. I'm liking that. So now 5, 1, 5, 1. So we're going to split this at 5, 1, 5, 1. We're going to hit OK. That's the back, and on the front it is 5.503. So we're going to slit 5.503, and that's going to give us our marks for where the cold shoulders are going to stop. Then I think I want it to go down to, let's see here, maybe 2 inches. Down there, because I don't want it to get too wide at the bottom. So yeah, so we're going to split and do a 1 inch there, and we're going to split and do a 1 inch there. And we can mark between. And then before I actually add all my X's and everything in, I am going to cheat this a little bit so that I can kind of see what it looks like before I totally decide. So we're going to cut and sew this side, And we're going to cut and sew this side. And then we're going to change this center fabric. We're going to add fabric. We're going to change this center fabric to a different fabric. And then we're going to take the occupancy all the way down. So we're cheating to make it a cold shoulder look, so we can kind of see what it would look like. But I can still sew it, and I could still see potentially what it could look like, which is a very handy thing to do. So that definitely helps. And then I want to apply that fabric there. And then let's cut and sew some of these, or cut these guys. We're gonna go with the more of this sweetheart look. We'll see if I like that. I'm not gonna get rid of everything. What I am gonna do is I'm just gonna grab them all. We're gonna move them up. And we're going to archive them so they're kind of out of our way. And kind of one thing, you know what? I am not thrilled with that. We're gonna go back to the circle. It just wasn't. I don't know. We're gonna try the circle. Let's cut that. And let's archive that. Yeah, I'm kind of liking the circle better with the cold shoulder stuff. Yeah, I like that a lot better. And that's what I love. I can do a quick test, I can do a fit, and I love that. So the next thing I want to do is I actually want to add a little bit of a flare down here, but I also want to make sure that I still kind of give myself a waist seam. So I'm going to give myself kind of like a pinprick on here from, let's see here. This is my waist. And I think I want to go, let's go, we're going to go 2 inches up. That might be a little bit too high. But I want to get it like right underneath that bust. So yeah, so let's go 1.75. So we're going to move it just a hair down, like so. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut that. I'm not going to cut and sew it because I want to manipulate it just a little bit. And I want to make sure that the cut and sew doesn't get too much in my way. Because the one thing I want to do is I want to add a little bit of fullness right under my bust so I can have a nice little ruching right under the bust. So I think let's add that first. So I'm just going to pop in we're going to do 0.75 there. And then we're going to do another 0.75. So I'm adding in a total of just 1.5 inches there for ruching underneath that bust. And then I am going to give this just a little bit of flare. So we're going to go I think we're just going to do 0.5s all the way across. We might need to make those a little bit more. I think that'll be okay. Then, let's see here. We're going to lengthen this by 5 inches. Yeah, proportionally, I am definitely Regina Georging right now, but proportionately, I think that's how low I'm going to get it. So I'm going to go ahead and then just start kind of taking out some of these other points that I have going on. Yeah. And then we will give it a little bit of a smooth from here to here. Like so. Then we want to do the same thing in the back, I think. I think we want to point to the back. Yes, I think we are going to go ahead and point the back. So we're going to grab that. We're going to offset, and we're going to go 1.75, reverse direction, and then we're going to cut that. Let's add in some fullness. I absolutely love how easy it is to add in fullness. It just, and the click of the button, I can tell exactly how much I want to add. It's probably one of my favorite things for sure. Now we're going to want to sew this up. So what I want to do, before I sew it actually, I still need to change this. This is going to go down 5 inches. And we're just going to delete a few of these. We'll give it a smooth. There we go. Then if we sew here to here, I could have just cut and sewn this one, but I didn't. That's okay. And then what I am going to do is I'm going to go there to there, because it'll be flat there. Then I'm going to go there to there. And then that's where the ruching is going to go. I'm going to go ahead and turn my particle distance way down. Just let it kind of relax. There it goes. Ooh, she's coming together. Got a nice little fluffy there. Looks like my back might have dropped just a little bit. We'll have to see how that looks on. But I am liking so far how she's coming together. I feel like there could be a little bit more ruching right there in the center, because I do want it to be just a bit more. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to add one more. Right there in the center. Give me a little bit of ruchiness. I might need to turn the particle distance down just a little bit more for that, or shrink up just a little bit the sewing lines, which I could do that as well. I'll probably just redo them. But I am not hating how this is. So the next thing we're going to need to do is we're actually going to need to do the under the arm bat wing. So I am first going to raise my girl's arms up And I want to do it dually. Go nice and slow. That way I can have kind of like, I can place it under there and not have too many problems. Like so. So the bat wing, we're going to just kind of move over here and measure and kind of figure out what our bat wing's going to look like from there. So I know I want the bat wing to kind of go up the side of the garment and down the sleeve. So I'm going to start by drafting a rectangle. That is my side length, which is 1828 by 1828 by, I'm not going to remember these. Hold please, let me get a fancy pen apparently. 1828.1 by 13.727. So we're now going to draft a rectangle that the width is 13.727 and the height is 18.281. Okay. And I want it to be fabric 1. So we're just going to kind of pull that back over just a little bit. Yeah. So what I think I want to do though is I want to actually, we're going to move this up so that we have a little bit of a flare, so we're not stuck with just that rectangle. We want a little bit bigger, so I'm going to go 4 inches up, and I'm going to go 4 inches that way. But then I want to change this length again, and I want to make sure it's what the length I want, so 13.727. I want to bring it in there. We want to change this length as well. We want 18.281, but I want it to change the other way. There we go. We're going to hit OK. And then we're just going to draft some wings. And I want a point there, with the curve there, point, 2, so I think I want this one. We're going to lessen those curves just a little bit. We're going to move them all just a little bit. Let's move that down so we can kind of see. Yeah, I'm kind of liking. Did you see? That's giving me what I want. So I'm going to double click that. We're going to go ahead and cut it. We'll archive that side of it. Kind of move it up and out of the way. Ooh, I'm liking how this is looking. We're going to put the other one on the other side. And then we need to sew it in. So we're going to sew this guy all the way up like that. And then we're going to go armpit, whoops, down. I think that's good. So let's go ahead and there she is. So it is giving me a little bit of havoc, probably because it's trying to actually go into that seam. And maybe what I should do, well, it might have worked itself out. It looks like it kind of worked itself out. Okay, so I'm going to let that kind of be there. And then the last thing that I definitely need to kind of figure out is my elastic parts. So I would definitely want to put some elastic on here. Um, so let's, I'm going to put one, I did two, so I'm going to do 1.5. And then we're going to actually go into our fabric, into our elastic. We're going to just get the properties of the elastic there. And then I guess what I could do, so I could kind of gauge it out. Now what I want to see, let's go ahead and we're gonna do a mirror paste. So that gives us kind of an idea of what it could possibly look like. What I want to do and move this up and out of the way because I want to organize these dots a little bit better. So let's see here. Align. Can I not distribute them? That's what I really want to do. Because I want them evenly distributed. So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to change this up a little bit. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, I want 11. So I'm going to uniform split this into 11. And hit OK. We're going to do the same on the other side. And then I can actually do the same thing. You just have to remember to go every other one. There we go. And that will give us the different lengths that we need. So this length is 8.5, so I'm going to do a 1/2 inch smaller than that for my elastic. So I'm going to do we also want to uniform split 11. That way we have our guide marks. Uniform split 11. There we go. And that with elastic. I think that'll be okay. Because I could go through and continue doing all that sewing. But I think I would need to shrink it from 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch. Because I'd probably want to use 1/4 inch with how much I am working with all that. So let's go ahead and let's do this. Let's take it down to 7. I am really liking the general fit and everything. Let's go ahead and change her pose up and see. Let's see here. I got a kind of crazy pose. Arm up, arm down. Da 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 da, Batgirl. Da 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 da. I think she's gonna be great. Let's put her hand on her waist. Let's see. It's probably gonna do a little bit of a collide. Where's her other arm going? Just out a little bit. Especially because there's so much there probably in her way. And she definitely has a lot of bit extra happening there. But I'm kind of happy with the base layout of this. Like I said, I could continue what I was doing with all that little bit of elastic in there. But as I kept working down, it was getting closer and closer, and I think the 1/2 inch would be too wide for as intricate as I went on the crisscrosses. I think I would definitely need to be doing more of a 1/4 inch there. To finish all of that. So we're going to go ahead and print this out and project it, or project it or print out, whichever. And I think I'm going to make a mock-up of it first, because there are a few things that I'm a little curious about. So I think I want to make a mock-up of it before I dive straight into my fabric, because I do love my fabric so much that I don't want to waste it on the first rendition out, because I think these pumpkins are absolutely hilarious. So I am going to do a quick mock-up, probably in some crazy orange and white striped fabric because I have tons of it, and it is a similar enough stretch and everything that I think it'll be okay. So if you are interested in following along and seeing how this bat shirt comes together, make sure that you check back and like and subscribe so you can get notifications for all the other types of videos that I do. And I look forward to seeing you in some of my other videos. Happy patterning!